You know that feeling when you hear about making your money work for you? Metallicus' latest quarterly update really brings that to mind.
Yeah.
We're diving into their report today to sort of unpack exactly how they're aiming to do that, especially, in this fast world of crypto and financial tech.
Exactly. And there's a lot here. We've got the CEO's update, the financials, details on a pretty big acquisition, and then progress reports across all their different products. It's quite comprehensive.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, okay, our goal for this deep dive is to cut through maybe some of the heavy technical stuff.
Right.
And really get a handle on the core strategies, the progress at Metallicus. What are they building? Who's it for? And what does it all mean for where finance is heading? Without getting totally lost in the jargon.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this. So one of the first things that jumped out was Metallicus celebrating its 10th anniversary.
Yeah, 10 years. That's quite a landmark in this industry.
It really is, isn't it? And the CEO sounds pretty optimistic about digital asset regulation in the U.S. He mentions the Genius Act, maybe a shift in the administration's thinking.
Well, what's interesting there is how consistent they've apparently been. Their view for a long time has been that blockchain should, empower financial institutions.
Not replace them.
Exactly, not try to replace them outright. And that perspective, it seems like it's gaining some traction now, or at least aligning better with how regulators might be thinking.
And it looks like institutions are responding to that approach. Their network's grown quite a bit, now reaching over 750 financial institutions. That's a big number, right?
It is a significant increase, and it suggests, traditional finance is becoming more open to exploring these on-chain solutions. Metallicus isn't just signing them up, they're actively guiding them in this new space, and apparently many are already trying out live use cases.
Which I guess leads right into them building their own proprietary blockchain. This wasn't just built in a vacuum, was it?
Yeah.
It sounds like it was really shaped by what those banks in their innovation program needed.
Precisely. Yeah, it seems like years of working closely with these institutions, really listening to what they needed for the regulated sector, went into building this thing.
Right.
And the fact that it's going to be available soon to some of those program members, that really underlines how collaborative it's been.
Okay, let's look at the numbers then. The financial performance section shows some, pretty impressive growth. Total revenue up 71% compared to the last quarter. What's that tell us?
Well, that big jump, it's driven by a few things. Trading fees are way up, 115%.
Wow.
On-ramp revenue, that's, new money coming onto the platform, that's up 70%.
Yeah.
And their DEX revenue grew almost 90%.
So lots more activity.
Yeah, it points to a lot more user activity, and it suggests their strategy of sort of bridging traditional finance and crypto is working. Even the steady growth in verified users on MetalPay and XPR, like 3% and 14%, that shows a consistent expansion.
And a big part of this seems to be the acquisition of Bonifii. Now, for listeners who might not know, who are they? Why is this deal so important?
Right, Bonifii. So they used to be called C-Ledger. They're a CUSO, a credit union service organization. Basically, they build tech and services for credit unions.
Okay.
And they have really deep roots there, especially in things like decentralized identity. They developed MemberPass, the digital trust registry, important innovations in that space.
So this acquisition is about tapping into that credit union market.
Exactly. It's strategic. It brings Bonifii's know-how and all those existing relationships directly into the Metallicus ecosystem. It's a direct line into that specific sector.
That sounds like a smart move.
Yeah.
The report said over 70 credit unions joined through the deal, and it's grown since then.
Yeah, that's a significant boost to their reach, right, where they seem to want it in the credit union world. Mm-hmm. There's a quote from John Ainsworth in there that really hits this point. He stresses that Metallicus isn't just playing around with blockchain. They're serious about building, real fundamental infrastructure for credit unions.
Right, solving actual problems.
Yes, and he mentions the smooth integration, how quickly they're moving from ideas to working stuff. It really suggests the two companies are well aligned.
And Bonifii's main products, MemberPass and the digital trust registry, they're going to continue under the Metal Identity brand. What does that signal?
Well, it strongly suggests they're going for a unified, single approach to digital identity across everything they do.
Okay.
By combining Bonifii's established tools and trust with Metallicus's broader tech platform, they're clearly aiming for a really robust and streamlined identity system. We should probably expect some interesting developments there as they merge those strengths.
All right, let's shift gears slightly to the banking innovation program. We mentioned it shapes their blockchain. Can you tell us a bit more about what that program actually is?
Yeah, this program seems absolutely central to their whole institutional strategy. It's not just about, selling a finished product off the shelf.
Right.
It's about real collaboration with the financial institutions. They're taking this engineering-first approach, focusing on building practical tools that tackle the stuff these institutions worry about, like fraud, keeping deposits, making the member experience better.
It's clearly gaining traction. Over 750 credit unions involved now. Adding the MDDC Credit Union Association, that kind of highlights how credit unions often work together, doesn't it?
It really does. Credit unions often operate in these connected networks, and their sort of collective willingness to learn and try new things seems to be a big part of why the program's growing.
Wow.
And the examples they give proofs of concept turning into actual tools for things like blockchain ID verification or sharing risk signals decentrally that shows it's producing tangible results.
Which all seems to lead towards what they're calling the digital banking network, or PDBN. This sounds like where a lot of this foundational work is heading.
Exactly. TDBN seems to be the vision, a secure on-chain system specifically designed for regulated finance.
Build for compliance from the ground up.
That's the idea. The fact that it's designed around standards like BSA, KYCML, ISO 2022, these are all things traditional institutions need. It shows a strong commitment to addressing those regulatory hurdles. And this idea of a bridgeless blockchain banking protocol, that suggests they're aiming for a really seamless, efficient network for these guys to operate in.
Okay, now the report gets into a lot of specifics on product updates. Let's try and hit the key developments for each, maybe starting with the Metal blockchain itself. What's important there?
All right, Metal blockchain. So what's already built, they have private permission networks running with super fast transaction finality, like under half a second.
Wow, that's quick.
Very quick. They've also got interoperability working, so it can talk to Ethereum and XPR. Their WebAuth wallet is integrated. Metal Identity is operational on it. And that first test phase, A-Chain Phase 1, they say it's performing better than expected.
And what's coming next?
The big things looking ahead are planned integration with FedNow in 2025.
That's huge.
Potentially, yeah. Then there's A-Chain Phase 2, which sounds like an institutional-focused subnet, and they're even developing other virtual machines, including a Bitcoin VM. That could be really significant for bringing Bitcoin into more traditional financial plumbing.
Definitely something to watch. Okay, what about Metal Pay, the user-facing side? What's new there?
Metal Pay has expanded its reach live in 48 U.S. states now, plus Australia and New Zealand, supports more crypto purchases. They use their own DX, Metal X for trades, free crypto transfers using XPR, access to Bitcoin trading, and DeFi.
So more features, broader access.
Right. Plus a web version now, a custodial wallet option for different user needs. And looking forward, they're rolling out passkey support, that's the passwordless login tech.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Integrating Metal Pay onboarding into WebAuth should make things smoother. And their plan to allow instant crypto buys from checking accounts via TDBN, that really points towards tighter integration with regular banking.
Okay, moving to WebAuth. This feels like a really central piece of the puzzle. What are the highlights there?
WebAuth already supports a bunch of blockchains. Metal, Ethereum, Optimism, XPR, testnets. It integrates with Wallet Connect, which is important for connecting to DeFi apps. Key features are things like biometric signing using your fingerprint or face, and those user-friendly at name addresses instead of long crypto addresses. Plus, secure key backup built in, which is critical.
And what's next for WebAuth?
A full UX redesign is planned. Support for more networks, including Bitcoin mainnet, new features like address books, notifications, aggregated balances, and direct integration of Metal Pay and MetalX, aiming for that sort of unified, all-in-one platform feel.
And how does Metal Identity connect all this?
Metal Identity is their on-chain verification system. You get verified once, get an on-chain checkmark. Importantly, these verifications can be revoked, and the KYC data can expire, which adds security and compliance.
And it works across everything.
That's the goal. Seamless identity across all Metal products and blockchains. Verified users get perks like zero-fee Bitcoin trading or participating in governance. The future plans are about making identity truly portable, verifying other attributes like, say, credit union membership, and enabling instant on-chain risk signal sharing.
Okay, let's talk stablecoins. Metal Dollar XMD, what's the latest there? And maybe just quickly explain stablecoins again for listeners.
Good idea. So a stablecoin is a crypto token designed to hold a steady value, usually pegged to something like the US dollar. Metal Dollar XMD is live on the XPR network.
And it's backed by?
It's backed by a basket of other established stablecoins like USDC, PYUSD, USDP. The minting and redeeming, creating, and cashing out is managed by smart contracts governed by the Metal DAO, which is their community governance body. It's the main stablecoin pair on their Metal X exchange. What's next? Launching it on Metal blockchain and Metal L2, expanding the basket based on DAO decisions, and piloting stablecoins actually issued by financial institutions using their tech. That could be a really big step for traditional players.
Interesting. And Metal X, their decentralized exchange. What's happening there? Remind us what a DAX is, too.
Right. A DAX, decentralized exchange, lets you trade crypto without a central company acting as the middleman. MetalX is live on XPR, supports various cryptos, different order types, borrowing, lending, liquidity pools, the usual DeFi stuff, plus stream payments. And it connects directly with Metal Pay, which helps users move funds easily. The plan is to add support for more chains, starting with Metal L2, list more assets, improve the interface, and even embed Metal X inside WebAuth eventually.
Got it. Finally, the XPR network itself. That's their original Layer 1 blockchain, right? Key features and future plans. Layer 1 being the base network.
Correct. XPR network is known for being fast, quick block times, high transactions per second, good uptime, supports smart contracts in different languages, has its own on-chain DX. A big plus is no gas fees for normal transactions.
Oh, that's appealing.
Yeah, uses the @name system too. Future plans include the A-chain upgrade to basically merge its protocol into the new Metal blockchain. Also working on biometric key recovery, better onboarding, and more developer tools.
They also mentioned Metal L2 progress since April 2024.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot's happening there quickly. Layer 2 being built on top of Layer 1 for speed and scale. Yeah.
Exactly. And yes, rapid progress on Metal L2. They've seen several DeFi protocols and infrastructure providers deploy their already names like Velodrome, Chainlink, CCIP.
Yeah.
Coming soon to L2 are Metal Dollar, XMD, their X tokens, Metal X, and Metal Identity. So L2 is becoming a major hub. Longer term, they're talking tokenized real-world asset baskets governed by their MTL token, and potentially those bank or credit union-issued stablecoins joining the XMD basket.
So L2 seems really central to their DeFi and institutional plans.
It definitely looks that way. A bridge between those two worlds.
It's also kind of interesting how they talked about their PR and media approach. It sounds very deliberate. Build first, then talk. Earned attention.
Yeah, it's a bit different from the sometimes hype-heavy marketing you see elsewhere in crypto.
Right.
Focusing on getting their key people, like Irina Burkon or Marshall Hayner, into serious discussions about regulation, infrastructure, getting featured in places like American Banker, working with CoinDesk. It signals a strategy focused on building credibility, especially with the traditional finance world. Plus, being active at major industry conferences.
Just briefly, they mentioned they're hiring a couple of key engineering roles.
Yep, senior blockchain protocol engineers, site reliability engineers. Shows they're still actively building out the team and the tech, and being fully remote and global helps them tap into talent anywhere.
Okay, so, wow. Let's try and wrap our heads around this. Pulling it all together, it feels like Metallicus had a really productive quarter. We saw a strong financial growth, that very strategic Bonifii acquisition, bringing in credit union expertise.
Right, and major progress on their core blockchain tech and all the products connected to it.
And that focus on getting institutions on board via the Banking Innovation Program and building out TDBN, that seems like the absolute core of their strategy right now.
Absolutely. I think the key things for you, the listener, to take away are, one, their clear focus on building compliant infrastructure so traditional finance can actually use blockchain. Two, how they're integrating identity solutions across everything they do. And three, those ambitious plans for Metal L2. It really looks set to become a crucial platform connecting DeFi and traditional institutions. That seems to be the big play.
So what does this all mean for you listening?
Well, I think it paints a picture of a company that's not just, talking about blockchain's potential, but is really building the tools, the infrastructure to make it work for banks, credit unions, and individuals. Yeah, it really highlights this increasing convergence we're seeing between traditional finance and this whole digital asset world.
It definitely makes you think. As these systems keep evolving and integrating more deeply, how might that fundamentally change how all of us think about and manage our money down the road? That's something worth mulling over.